everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to 2026. It's now 2026 and January is actually almost over and I still have not announced what my 2026 TBR will be, and I know that you're probably just like all biting at the bit to know what that is. I was going to go through that today, as well as I got a clear case for my Kindle and I thought that I could decorate that while I go through the books that I want to read for the year. I have my TBR broken down into 4 categories. The first category is new releases and like most anticipated books that I'm looking forward to. The second is sequels and series that I really want to continue. Third category is classics, because I have quite a few of them on my shelf and I would actually like to, say that I've read them. And then the fourth category is standalones. So let's start off with the first category, new releases. I am looking forward to reading the next installment in the Night and the Moth series by Rachel Gillig. I'm not sure what the series is called. The second one is The Knave and the Moon. So that comes out in September. So that's quite a ways away. But yeah, I am looking forward to that. I liked where the last book ended off, and honestly, I could have used a few more, maybe 100 more pages out of that book. I felt like it was kind of skimmed over for most of the storyline and the plot, and I wanted a bit more detail. So yeah, I hope the second book delivers on filling in some holes in information that I felt like maybe I wanted out of the first one. The next book, actually, let's figure out what I'm doing here. I got some vellum paper and I was gonna do my name on there with these gold letter stickers. Also, excuse all of my sniffles. I'm getting over a cold and I'm still sniffling, so I'm sorry if that's annoying. Now to cut it out. And also excuse the noises from my children, because they are also down here. And I told them to be quiet, but they are children, so they do what they do. All right. There's the first sticker. Oh my goodness. All right. The next book on my list is The Last Page by Katie Holt, and that comes out May 12th. It sounds like it's a rom-com sort of book. This girl has grown up in this bookstore that she now works in, and the owner is like a father to her. He then unexpectedly dies, and she is I guess wanting to take over the bookstore, but then his grandson or son comes and it's he's inherited it or something, and so he's going to run it, and she's I guess not happy about it. And he's wanting to make changes and things, and maybe against her better judgment, she maybe finds him attractive, maybe falls in love with him, I don't know. But it sounds really cute and it takes place in a bookstore, so it's giving all the good bookish vibes. Next on my list, I have The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. The Book Witch is about a girl who goes into books to fix them, I think is what it said. But her grandfather goes missing, and so she has to team up with a detective from classic literature to go and find him. And that sounds so cool. And I think they also travel through other classic pieces of literature. So I think because I'm going to be reading some classics, that may come in handy when I read that book. This little weekend bunting one is kind of cute. So maybe I'll put that on some vellum. And that actually concludes the new releases list. So next list is sequels and series. Now I realize that I just told you a sequels and series book in this first category, new releases. And I probably should have put it down in this one, but you know, it's still a new release. It can cross barriers, you know, that book, The Knave and the Moon. It's a new release and it's a sequel. I think that turned out super cute. We have a Think Happy, Be Happy sticker. We can use that for sure. For sequels and series, we have the second installment in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, which is The Well of Ascension. I read Mistborn maybe like 2 years ago. I actually own all 3 of them, and I have no excuses. I need to just get into it. I think I put it off because it kind of scares me a little bit. It leads off into a whole other huge series of books, and so it just seems a little bit daunting. The next sequel I'd like to read is Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli, and that is the second in the Crimson Moth series, I believe. That one left off kind of on a cliffhanger, so I don't know why I haven't picked it up. It's not new. I think it came out last year, but I just didn't get around to it, you know? So I'd like to this year. I'd also like to get around to reading the series called The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. I saw these shared by some people. I think they're big on Book Talk, which I'm not on, but I've heard about it. And I think they're all on Kindle Unlimited as well. So I would like to read those because they sound like they'd be right up my alley. It's kind of like historical fiction. It's this girl's personal journals and her like normal life. I'm not sure what happens, but it sounds interesting. They're really pretty. I'd like to get them actually for my own bookshelves if I end up liking the first one. So yeah, I was gonna maybe get a membership for Kindle Unlimited because they're all on there. I just don't know like how quickly I'm gonna be reading enough to make it worthwhile, but let me know in the comments if you have Kindle Unlimited and if you think it's worth it, because I think they were even running a promo recently. Maybe they still are. So I thought it would be a good time to maybe try it out and read those books. I would like to read Sunrise on the Reaping. I read all of the Hunger Games books back when they came out. I was in high school. And so I feel like I've just gotten like too far out of the realm of the Hunger Games to then revisit it, but I do think I want to. I don't know if that means I'll be rereading the Hunger Games or if I'll just jump into the Sunrise on the Reaping. I'm not sure, but I do want to read that book because, hey Mitch, I didn't really have much interest in the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes because, I don't know, it was like Snow's point of view and I didn't really care for Snow, so why would I read his book? But if you convince me otherwise, I probably would read it. The next category is classics. I have actually already read one of them on my list. I wanted to read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and I finished it last week. I read it on my Kindle, but I have all of these I have all the Puffin and Bloom books, and so I just got this one to be my trophy on the shelf, and it is gorgeous, so pretty, done by Rifle Paper Co. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4. I will say that like they're unhinged, like these two people, and even just like the cast of characters all in general is kind of, they're all a little mad. And I always thought that this was a romance, and it is kind of a romance, but that is not like, that's not all that it is. It is like just all about revenge and going crazy and like everyone's dying. It's very sad and like solemn, and the setting is very grim and dark, and yeah, It was good, but not like a light and fluffy read by any means. The next classic I would like to read is Little Women. My mom told me that I would love this. It's right up my alley, and it's just, again, a little bit intimidating because of how large it is, but I do want to read it. I want to tackle it this year, and yeah, isn't this just gorgeous? I love all of these books. Well, honestly, I don't have anything else listed on my classics section here, but if I could get to any of those other books up on my shelf, like, I would be happy. I've got Heidi, Anne of Green Gables, The Little Princess, Emma, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility. I have all those books up there. I want to at least get to Little Women, but really I'd be happy reading any of those up there. It is a new day. I didn't get through my entire list, nor did I get through the Kindle decorating. Really the only category that I have left to tell you about is the standalones category. And there's only 2 books that I have on there. And while I do that, I will decorate this Kindle. I also found this sticker upstairs in my drawer, so I thought somehow I could use this one, but it's very big, so it might not fit. Okay, so for standalones, I really wanted to read Project Hail Mary. I had been recommended this book a couple times, like through someone at Barnes & Noble recommended it to me, and then I've seen like other YouTubers talk about it, and I thought it sounds really good. Everyone's like given it such high praise, so I added it to my list, and then I learned that there was going to be a movie made this year, so even more reason to start reading it. And I actually did read it. I just finished it yesterday, and it is so good. It's like a 6-star read for me, and those are really hard for me to come by. I'm like very stingy with my 5 stars, but this one is definitely a 6-star book. It is so good, and I love, like, I'm not like even that into science, but author explains stuff is really like easy to understand, and even if it isn't easy to understand, you just kind of like accept it as truth, and then you move on through the story, and it's really good. I didn't have a hard time like following it at all, and yeah, it was so good. And I've also told my husband to read it and my mom. So I can't wait to like talk to other people about it too, because right now I don't know anyone else that's read it. So I've already been checking stuff off my list just in this first month, which is great. I feel like I get the bulk of my reading done in the beginning of the year because it's winter and like we're kind of stuck inside. It's so cold. Like today, it's only 15 degrees outside. There's snow everywhere. So yeah, I think most of my reading I get done at the beginning of the year, from like January to maybe like or April, I'd say. And then life catches up when the weather like all thaws out, and yeah, then I lose time. But right now I'm kind of getting through this list. The last book on my entire list is Running Man by Stephen King. And I put this one on there because there was a movie and I had seen someone else recommend it on YouTube, and I've only read one Stephen King book, but I'd like to change that. He is such like a prolific author, and I'd like to just like pick up more of his books. So this is one that I hadn't even really heard about, but the movie made me kind of know it existed. And I think it looks really good and it sounds interesting. I initially wanted to read it with my husband, like buddy read it, and then we could watch the movie together as like a date night. So I think we'll still do that. But yeah, right now he is actually into reading the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. He's on the second one. So I want him to read Project Hail Mary after he's done with that book, and then he'll probably jump back into the Dungeon Crawler Carl book 3. So we'll see, but I think I'm done with the Kindle. Not my favorite, but I'm just working with what I have. Maybe I'll like find some other random stickers out and about. There's like a coffee shop and a mercantile store nearby me, and they sell like really cute stickers, so maybe I could find some there. I've seen some on Etsy too, but you could even do like just scrapbook papers in there, I think. If I find some cute scrapbook papers, maybe at like Hobby Lobby, or you could do like flat embellishments. Like I was thinking about putting like a ribbon in there, but it would need to be like a really skinny and thin ribbon because the stickers need to still lay flat so that they don't move. So let me know what books you're most looking forward to reading this year. I feel like my list is not very big, but I also made my Goodreads goal a lot lower this year. I changed it from 40. The past few years I've had it at 40, and this year I decided to change it to 25, I think is what I put it at. Just because I feel like at the end of the year I'm really scrambling to like get stuff read, and I just want to like be able to enjoy it and not like rush things. And I want to actually like read books that are keeping my interest. Like I don't want to just read, if a book's not keeping me interested, then like I don't want to feel bad DNFing it. And I do, because like I'm trying to reach a goal, and yeah. So I think this year I'm gonna let myself DNF stuff more and just read like actual books that are really interesting to me. So that's my goal for the year, and that's my TBR, and I can't wait to hear more about what you want to read, and maybe like I could add some more to my list. I hope you have a great day. Stay warm out there, guys. It's like really cold right now, and we're out of January now, so hopefully things will start to warm up around here. I'll see you later. Bye.